Last couple of days on the internet have made me more concerned about this hobby and the future of this hobby than the last year or so of all this mayhem. For anyone who doesn't know, I strongly do believe in booster boxes. I think that booster boxes are going to be one of the pinnacle things, in my opinion, going to save this hobby and get it back to a more manageable level. Now, obviously, that's kind of counterintuitive because if you look at the prices of booster boxes going right now, you've got sets like Destined Rivals that have been out for a month or two, 2 months, 3 months, and they're already sitting at 350 and looking like they're not going to slow down and going to $400. Anything Scarlet and Violet's all going up. Here, here's my argument, and let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Do you think I'm out of touch? Do you have a different opinion on how to? Because my whole thing right now is I'm not going to bore people with talks about like not necessarily the market, but like card prices going up and down, market prices going up and down. I will bring up market talks, but my concern right now is trying to get people the best bang for their buck, as far as also educating and trying to figure out what can be done in this hobby to help make this hobby go back to where it is. Because right now, we're getting to a scary level that I don't think a lot of people are. You have two different sides. You have the MSRP gang, and then you also have the filthy investors who they're loving what's going on right now, and that's all their content is making videos about uh, how they evolved, going up to $500 a booster box, Destin Rivals going to 400 a booster box, and they're happy as can be. They're jumping over the rainbow. My my thing is I don't want this hobby to become like Magic. And no offense to anybody who maybe comes across this, and I've never played Magic, but I don't want to be paying 500, 600, $700, a thousand, whatever, a collector box to be able to get special cards. Um, I don't want to be paying, you know, 150, 200 for what I would consider normal cards, because unless you get the collector box, you don't get those special rarities. You don't have a chance of getting those. I want Pokemon to be something where you don't, if you have a ton of money, great. You can open and buy and get any card you want, any product you want in abundance of however much you want. But I also want the average people, the poor people, to be able to go to the grocery store and be able to pick up an ETB for $40, 30 bucks, whatever, whatever it is, being able to go home, open it up for themselves, open it up for their kids. That's what I want for this hobby. And so I've been watching some YouTubers, and unfortunately, a bunch of YouTubers lately have kind of switched their feels on what they're saying. So they were saying, we're close to the end. I'm not investing in Scarlet and Violet right now. I'm doing Sword and Shield, and Scarlet and Violet's just too crazy for me. And then a week later, they come out and they bought in 3 cases of Destined Rivals at what, let's say $300 a box. They're paying like 2,100 a box, 2,300, 2,500 a box, and they say that they would rather have the product and have their positions locked in and hope for a market correction than to not have any product or any position locked in and not and product never go 150, 160, $200 a booster box again. And so they've switched up their mindset. And for me, I think that we have two possible outcomes. The first one is the Magic outcome, which I think will be a detriment to the overall hobby in general. I think collectors will rejoice, and that, but a good majority of the community will have to go find something else, or leave the hobby, which then could affect the investors. The other option is that Pokemon, in my opinion, stops printing, not stops, but they seriously reduce the amount of printing of booster bundles and collection boxes, minimize production of those, and they need to start maximizing production of booster boxes. And the reason why is because when you have a normal set, not a specialty set, that the best you can get is a super premium collection, ultra premium collection, or the ETB. And we're not going to also take into consideration the Pokemon Center ETBs either. The booster box is going to be your standard. It's going to be the everything else is going to be below it, and that is what's going to set and hold the market price. And so, if you have a booster box and the booster boxes are not being reprinted, and let's say everything else is being reprinted, well, the market, you may see the market go down on those certain products, but it's not going to hold. It's going to rebound fairly quickly and go up because the booster boxes, which in my opinion are the pinnacle of the collection space, they're not being reprinted. There's no more hitting the market. And so the market is only going to continue to go up and not allow for the overall whole set, cards, packs, everything to decrease in value. Where if you have your booster boxes that are being reprinted in your booster box cases, whether it's going through distro or going to LGSs or going to hell Walmart, Sam's, Costco, I mean, let them start selling cases or booster boxes, right? Or your Targets, whatever. If Pokemon is reprinting the booster boxes, and sending those to store shelves and sending them to online stores, distros, whatever, that is going to flood the market, especially if they continue to do so. It's going to flood the market. It's going to make the product feel less scarce. It's going to cause people to sell. Not a year ago, we were having booster box cases going for like $600. Now a new set comes out. Mega Evolutions right now is sitting around 280, 290. Who knows what's going to happen? Let's just say that it goes down. Let's say it's going to hit 250 when it releases here in 2 weeks. Okay, it's very unlikely that that's going to happen, but let's say that that does happen. Your cases are still sitting over $1,000, and for me personally, if I want to open up a set, I want to open up booster boxes. I know that that's not for everybody. I also enjoy ETBs too. ETBs are great. You're going to the grocery store, you're getting paid. You get paid on Friday. You're going to the grocery store, you're picking up a couple things. There's an ETB sitting on the shelf. You pick up an ETB. You go home. You rip open up some packs, some booster bundles also. But for me, I don't understand the argument of collector boxes. You 99% of the time, 99.9% of the time, those products do not have just one of the set. They're going to have, for example, they could have Destined Rivals, they could have Journey Together, they could have Temporal Forces, they could have Paradox Rift. And I feel like even though that's great, we need to focus more on individual sets and on that individual product. And until we get to that point where where Pokemon is printing booster boxes again, which they did with Chilling Reign and a bunch of sets in Sword and Shield, is they were getting to a higher price. Pokemon continued to reprint them, the booster boxes themselves, and then that caused the market to help and to crash the market. And I'm not necessarily saying that personally I want a crash to happen, because I would enjoy being able to get booster boxes for $120 because I don't have a ton of money available to me. Um, but I understand where a lot of people, they don't want to see the market crash at all or the market correct at all because they just want to continue to see the dollar signs going up. One way or another, this market will correct itself. Um, I hope. And if it doesn't, then don't come complaining and crying when your next uh, booster box is $500 coming out, and then 600, and then 700, and then 800. And then next thing you know, we are in a magic situation where, yeah, you're able to get a booster bundle for $50 or $100. You're able to get a booster bundle, but you're not able to get a booster box, or your ETBs are $200 instead of 50 or $60. And I think that that's things that people aren't seeing is at the end of the day, when all is said and done, these these boxes right here with 36 packs, these are what dictate the market. And if there is short supply of this, it does not matter what Pokemon prints. Everything by product is going to go up in price because this is going up in price. And that's what everyone's seeing, and that's what everyone's not paying attention to. We're getting product in booster bundles, in ETBs, in collection boxes, but we're not getting this. And so when this doesn't go down and this goes up in price, people justify other product going up in price and continuing to climb. And if Pokemon doesn't change something soon, either two things are going to have to happen. We're going to have numerous sets that come out that people hate, and I don't see Pokemon doing that because everything that they're doing right now is on fire. The art's amazing. Pokemon's going to have to print to demand and above demand, and just continue and just flood the market. And unfortunately, at the rate of how things are going, I don't see that happening. I don't see Pokemon being able to keep up for numerous reasons. I think that they could, but obviously the number one is the printing facilities. Um, or we're gonna go in this. We're gonna go in this for a very long time. We're gonna have a very long time of bots and scalpers, and every time a new product comes out, you're waiting on your phone for the next notification just to get on the Pokemon Center and fight 5 million other people to try to get your hands on some product. Um, I just I don't know. I don't know. So that's my thought. Is we're in a dangerous place for anyone who is just a normal collector who doesn't have a bunch of money. Is we're either looking at the next Magic, which would be Pokemon. Something has to give. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know, let me know your opinions. Do you think that collection boxes are great? Do you think booster bundles are great? The ETBs are great. And if so, why is the market not changing? Why does it go down and then quickly recover and go to new heights? Let me know in the comments below. Appreciate you guys watching the video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.